Mbappé scoring for fun.
As Mbappé streaks through and clips the ball over Calmurza. Clinical.
Vinny getting his confidence back.
What a ball that is. Vinny Jr. has support, but he might go alone. Vinny Jr!
Bellingham coming back like he never left.
Gets a shot away off the post, but surely Mbappé Bellingham. The deadlock is finally broken.
Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid is looking scary. After an underwhelming season, it was time for a change, and a new era is upon us. This team looks a lot better and more unified, as seen by the fact that they dominated Barca in a way that they never could in the previous season.
Real Madrid have stopped that losing run against Barcelona. They lost all 4 Clásicos against them last season, and now they have set things straight, and Xabi Alonso has added his name to the win list.
It was a massive win for Los Blancos. Xabi Alonso was brought in because he understands Madrid's DNA. He understands how to manage Galacticos and is one of the best tactical minds in the sport.
And the defensive balance of Madrid today, I give credit to Xabi Alonso for having done that very well.
But even with new faces and new tactics, the goal is always the same: to win trophies. And this Madrid team could be on their path to winning all of them.
What it means for Real Madrid, Xabi Alonso's system works against big teams. I think today was a big test for them. They prove it.
The first change that is noticeable in Xabi's Real Madrid is that they are much more solid defensively. According to Opta data, Real Madrid only conceded 1 big chance in their opening 3 La Liga games. Yeah, let's not talk about where Barca is on this list. It's good to see that Xabi immediately identified one of the biggest weaknesses from the 2024-2025 season and is actively fixing it. To say that Real Madrid's 2025 season was underwhelming would be putting it lightly. When you add Mbappé to a team that had just won the double, you expect to win more trophies, not less. The beginning looked great, with Madrid dominating Atalanta in the UEFA Super Cup.
It's Mbappé coming on and scoring! Kylian Mbappé, on his big night, his Real Madrid debut, scores his first goal for the club. The first of how many? We'll wait and see.
Mbappé, Vinny, and Bellingham were all linking up, and it really did seem like they were gonna bulldoze through everyone, like me driving on sidewalks in GTA. But that joy didn't last long. Madrid then spent the next 3 months not playing well. They spent a few months back in first place in La Liga before everything came crashing again.
Obviously not exactly where we expect ever Real Madrid to be, and Carlo Ancelotti as well. Their only chance now at a trophy is La Liga, and they sit 4 points behind this Barcelona side, and like we mentioned, they play one more time against them.
Then in the competition that they are masters in, they lost to Arsenal.
Only 3 in the wall, Rice goes round it! That is absolutely brilliant! Declan Rice breaks the deadlock with a fabulous free kick! It's Rice again! Oh! My goodness! Incredible! This is Declan Rice's night! Now, ignoring the fact that Declan Rice turned into Juninho that night, in general, Real Madrid's defense was more open than Bonnie Blue's legs. If we look at this chart here, their non-penalty expected goal difference per game was 0.5 in La Liga. Essentially, this number means that they barely won their games. They conceded for fun, and there was a significant lack of balance. Alonso has come in and fixed that.
Who wants to change some of the mindsets, who clearly has some ideas about the structure of this team and wants to play differently.
And he has been helped tremendously by his new signings. Specifically, I want to look at Hausen and Carreras. We saw Hausen adapt quickly in the Club World Cup. He was an incredible signing. So good at breaking the lines, so comfortable on the ball. Pretty much the perfect profile to complement Rudiger or Militao. Players like Rudiger and Militao are more aggressive, while Hausen is calmer and better on the ball. It's like saying Kroos at center back. And these passes he's playing are so important because they can quickly take the opposition press out of the equation. Because if you can bypass a team's midfield with one driven through ball, then you are immediately in the attacking third. His passing is so important to Madrid in terms of dictating the play and having control in matches, something that was massively missing in 2025. In fact, Hausen is so good that Alonso called him one of the pillars of his new project. Having an actual center back helps Madrid out a lot too, because in the 2024-2025 season, they were constantly making makeshift back fours and moving players around in positions that they weren't comfortable in. Then at left back, Carreras has been fantastic. Even Alonso has been shocked by how good the Spaniard has been. I saw the craziest stat. Apparently, Carreras has had more accurate crosses after 3 games than Mendy did in his last 50 games. With all due respect to Mendy, because he has been an important member of some very good Real Madrid teams, teams, as good as he was defensively, he didn't give you much going forward. Carreras, meanwhile, is so comfortable in possession. He offers Madrid another outlet when going forward, and his overlaps help create 2v1 situations with Vini. On top of those guys, there's also Trent. He has looked good in moments, and I think people are making a big deal out of him rotating with Carvajal for no reason. There are so many games in a season for Real Madrid that both of them will get their opportunities, not to mention that each of them brings something different to the table. Trent is an X factor, this incredible weapon on the right hand side. Alonso just has to find the right balance between giving him the freedom to do what he does well, but also maintaining a solid defensive shape. The closer Trent is to goal, the more lethal he is, but that also increases the chances that the team gets exposed on the counter. This is him pushing up the press, but Salzburg make their way out, and now Madrid have to sprint back. Here's another example from the same game, where Trent is essentially in a position where he has to pick which player he takes. He follows Kratzig on the wing, but that leaves Gluch open in the middle. The good thing though is that Alonso has experience dealing with wing backs who are better going forward than they are defensively. Grimaldo and Frimpong were not lockdown defenders, yet under Alonso these guys were putting up such amazing numbers and winning games that nobody cared about their defensive duty. We have already gotten a glimpse of how good Trent can be for Madrid going forward, playing Xabi ball. Now that we have spoken about how good the new defensive signings have been, we have to show some love to Mastantuono.
Confirmed today, Gustavo, that Mastantuono is confirmed the 17-year-old will be joining Real Madrid.
The young Argentine, in my opinion, has been great on the right wing. Yes, he hasn't done anything crazy or put up unreal statistics yet, but the fact that a teenager came in and was immediately put into the starting 11 for a club as big as Madrid, that tells you all you need to know about his quality. He has been so good on the right-hand side that Alonso hasn't even felt the need to shoehorn Rodrigo in the way Ancelotti did. Once Mastantuono adapts more to the league and his new teammates, I think we're going to see this guy hit another level. Madrid finally have a natural right winger, and he looks good. While Alonso has done a great job at integrating the new players, he's also done an excellent job in improving the established guys. Let's start with Arda Guler. The poor guy didn't feature that much under Ancelotti, and when he did, he wasn't always used in his preferred position. Alonso though was playing him in the heart of the midfield, in the number 10 role behind Kylian Mbappé, and in front of the double pivot of Tchouameni and Valverde. Guler has rewarded Alonso for picking him by getting an assist against Real Oviedo and then scoring against Mallorca. Alonso loves having a magician in the middle of his team. At Leverkusen, he gave Florian Wirtz a free role just behind the striker, and it worked really well. Wirtz had the space to create, dribble, and pick out clever passes. That's exactly the kind of role that Arda Guler is now playing at Madrid. Guler loves playing in tight areas and making things happen. His creativity mixed with Mbappe's pace is a lethal combo. What makes Arda Guler so special isn't just his skill, it's also his composure. Even at such a young age, he plays like someone who's been at the top for years. He sees passes that others miss. He glides past defenders with ease, and he's not afraid to take a shot when the team needs it the most. Now, I think it's obvious that the team still needs a deep line playmaker, because as much as Madrid fans want to make fun of Pedri and Frankie de Jong and call them fidget spinners, their team actually requires that exact profile in their midfield. Alonso experimented with Arda in a deeper role at the Club World Cup, but I believe he realized that the Turk is better when he has the freedom to move around. Ever since he came on at halftime against Al Hilal, he has made Madrid look sharper every time he's been on the pitch. He brings so much creativity and control to the midfield. Against Pachuca and Salzburg, he dropped deeper, but still had the freedom to move around, to get on the ball as much as possible. And you saw the results. Madrid were able to win those games. The way that he's able to dictate the tempo is something that Madrid have been unable to do since Toni Kroos left. Then you have Bellingham. Now, he missed the beginning of the season as he was getting surgery, but he has come back and it feels like he had never left. Big goal against Juve in the Champions League. Goal and assist against Barca. People will cry that his goals are tap-ins, but if you watch this guy, you know he's so much more than that. There's no way you unironically think he's a tap-in merchant. What he offers this team is literally priceless. He scores, he defends, he creates, he presses. There is no one with his profile on the team. Heck, there might not even be someone this complete in the entire world of football right now. We saw how well he could fit into Xabi's system at the Club World Cup, and that progress has now continued into the new season. Last year, he was doing double the work and getting half the recognition. Now we are hopefully going to see him dominating the midfield again under Xabi Alonso. The other player who immediately looked better under Xabi Alonso is Tchouameni. Alonso experimented with the Frenchman in two different roles. The first one was a holding midfield position in a standard 4-3-3. The second was having him as a central center back in a back three. In the Club World Cup against Juve, this was very evident. Madrid started with the same lineup that beat Red Bull Salzburg 3-0 in the previous match, but in the second half, Alonso tweaked the shape. Madrid switched to a back four when they had the ball by pushing Tchouameni forward. That gave them an extra option in the half spaces and made it easier to move the play across the pitch through him and Guler without always resetting through the defense. The idea was very simple: attack the gaps outside Thuram and Locatelli before Juventus' 5-2-3 shape had time to slide over. From there, Madrid could link up in those pockets or quickly find Vini and Trent in dangerous wide areas. At Leverkusen, Alonso loved having a midfielder who could also act like a third center back, someone who's strong, calm, and smart. Tchouameni fits that perfectly. His strengths are all about control. He can break up attacks with perfect timing, he holds his ground in midfield battles, and he never panics under pressure. He's physically very strong, and he's very good technically. He can play as a defensive midfielder who drops deep when the wingbacks go forward, or even as the middle center back in a back three. Either way, he'll keep the team balanced. It's basically the same role that Robert Andrich played for Alonso at Leverkusen. It's a hybrid role, not quite a center back, not quite a full-time midfielder, but perfect for someone like Tchouameni who's comfortable doing both. This also takes the pressure off others. When the fullbacks push high and players like Bellingham or Valverde roam forward, Tchouameni can cover the gaps. He can keep the shape and make sure that Madrid don't get caught out. Xabi Alonso played as a deep-lying midfielder himself. He knows exactly what the role requires: the timing, the patience, the vision you have to have. So you can bet that he'll know how to continue to bring out the best in Tchouameni. Then we have Vini. At the Club World Cup, we saw early signs of what the Brazilian can do with Xabi ball. He was being put into positions where he could succeed. In possession, Xabi wanted the team to play quick and fast in short spaces. That's perfect for Vini because he's incredible in tight areas. Here's a wonderful passage of play against Salzburg, and we can see that they have been working on this exact pattern in training. At the same time though, Xabi wants his team to be lethal on the counter, similar to the 2012 Madrid team that Alonso himself was a part of. Look at Vini's goal against Salzburg, a quick break, one ball from Bellingham and behind to Vini. We also saw a similar counterattack goal scored by Gonzalo Garcia. Vini is able to punish teams by providing an outlet in behind. Then when the La Liga season started, Alonso actually did something very ballsy that I liked. He dropped Vini, and it was for good reason. He had not played well at all against Osasuna. Rodrigo started instead against Oviedo, and it was a clear message not just to Vini but to the rest of the team. Alonso wasn't playing people based on their name. It was based on your performances.
Because in past times or previous managers, if they've had a problem with a player and they've dropped a certain player, that player will go above the manager's head and speak to the president direct. Where I think the president and the CEO have already said to Xabi, listen, you're the boss, you can control the players, you can tell them yes, no, you're on the bench, and everybody has to abide by your decisions. And I think that's the most important thing.
Now, while I enjoyed that move from Alonso, I also enjoyed what Vini did, because instead of pouting, he came off the bench and immediately made an impact, getting a goal and assist. He responded on the pitch. Then against Mallorca, he scored again. If Vini buys in and focuses on being the great creator that he is, I'm very confident that Alonso will continue to get the best out of him. Now, how can we talk about attackers and not bring up Donatello? I always thought Mbappé would be the first winner of the Ballon d'Or once Messi got older. It seems like his development was slightly halted, but we are seeing once again how good this man is. He didn't get a proper run at the Club World Cup because he got sick, but once he recovered, he got his speed and flair back. Immediately he started scoring goals for fun and showing that he's ready to be the main man and face of Real Madrid. When Alonso was at Leverkusen, his main striker was Victor Boniface. He allowed the Nigerian to drift wide, drop deep, basically go wherever there was space. Now he's doing the same thing with an infinitely better player in Mbappé. Everything Boniface could do, Mbappé can do even better. And Alonso's system is bringing out the best in the Frenchman. With Guler behind him and Carreras and Trent stretching the pitch, Mbappé has more service and space than before. He's no longer isolated or forced to carry the attack alone, though he can still do that. The attack is more fluid with Vini, Mastantuono, Arda Guler all finding ways to set Mbappé up. Now he doesn't have to always come deep to get the ball. Madrid's midfield can feed him. He won't always have to make something out of nothing, though he's already done that multiple times this season. He's getting quality service, and it's in rhythm, and it's in dangerous areas. And when Real Madrid counterattack under Alonso, that's where Mbappé becomes terrifying. One pass, one sprint, and he's already celebrating. Even in his bad first year, he scored 40 plus goals. Now that he's more settled, and in a system built around him, he should explode. He was Madrid's top goal scorer and second in big chances created in the 2024-2025 season. He's an all-timer, so of course we're going to hold him to a higher standard. But on paper, he should only get better now, especially as he has gotten a taste of what La Liga football is like. Because while he did dominate Spanish teams in the Champions League, and again performed really good in La Liga, it was always going to take some time to adjust to playing against the terrorist low blocks of Getafe and Levante. There's also the off-the-pitch factor. Mbappé is still young, but he's been a leader for years. He brings a lot of confidence to the dressing room, and he's the type of player that sells out stadiums wherever he goes. But what he truly wants, more than the attention, more than the headlines, is legacy. And at Madrid, legacy means trophies. Alonso himself knows this. He's been around stars before. He's played with the Galacticos. He understands how to manage egos, but also how to challenge the top players to grow. He has given Mbappé a role within a specific system. That way, Mbappé can be creative on the pitch, but there's also a blueprint and system to fall back on when things get tough. Under Xabi Alonso, it might be the beginning of the most complete version of Mbappé yet. Now, throughout his early days as a Real Madrid manager, Xabi Alonso has made one thing crystal clear. No matter the formation or tactical tweaks, the team must press together. Unity in defense. Pressing as one. This is a non-negotiable. It's something that Ancelotti really struggled to instill in his last season, especially with players like Vini and Mbappé, who often operated more as individuals than a part of a team.
So I think that's the challenge for Xabi is to be able to impose the ideas that he very clearly has got. And he's very, very much a manager of systems, of mechanisms, of thoughtfulness, of intelligence. And I think he needs to be able to impose that to be able to get to the team that he wants Real Madrid to be.
There was actually a moment against Salzburg in the Club World Cup that really made Xabi Alonso smile. With 75 minutes on the clock, Madrid lost the ball right after a corner. What happened next wasn't flashy or glamorous. It was never going to dominate the headlines, but it meant everything to Alonso. He saw his entire team sprint back. It showed their willingness to defend, to play together as one. Yes, it's still early days, but we are seeing Alonso lay out the pieces of his puzzle. We will get a clear picture of what Alonso's Madrid is becoming as time goes on. The early signs though are promising. Now what should make Real Madrid fans really optimistic is that Alonso really understands Real Madrid's identity, DNA, and what it takes to get Galacticos ticking. And that's because he was a Galactico himself. To see his journey as a Real Madrid player and how it has influenced his coaching philosophies, you have to check out this video right here.